Hello and welcome to another LEGO Harry Potter 2021 review. Today we're looking not at a Hogwarts set, but at a Hogsmeade set. This is set number 76388, Hogsmeade Village Visit. It comes with 7 minifigures, a total of 851 pieces, and retails here in the UK for £70, give or take a penny. I got this for 65, so that made it a bit of a sweeter deal, although I think overall it's pretty good value at full price. This is the first set that focuses primarily upon Hogsmeade. We did have one previous set, which I have the instructions for here, set number 4756, Shrieking Shack. That doesn't come in this set, but the previous set did have a smaller version of Honeydukes, and we get an updated version here, the 3 broomsticks we haven't seen before. So I'm going to get this built, and then we will take a look. Here's everything you get in the box. Let's start, as usual, with the minifigures. For variety, I thought we'd start with the Golden Anniversary minifigure. As with the other sets in this 20th anniversary wave, we get one of these included, and this is Ron Weasley. He is very similar to the version that came out in the Hogwarts Moment sets, though he is obviously in pearl gold and has a 20 years of LEGO Harry Potter stamp on the back. He only has one expression, and he comes with a golden wand. Not particularly exciting, but nice to add to the collection, and it's good to get some more different pieces in gold, particularly that hairpiece. We get 2 other students in this set. Obviously on the left we have Harry Potter. What's a Harry Potter set without a version of Harry? We've seen this one before in quite a few sets, including the most recent Night Bus set, and it's fairly appropriate for the scene that this set is supposed to be representing. He just has his blue jacket over a lighter blue shirt and then the medium legs in black. He has the same expressions that we've come to expect of Harry in his 3rd year and above, and comes with his wand. On the right is a slightly more interesting figure. This is Dean Thomas. We have had Dean before. He came in the first series of collectible minifigures. Not sure if this is the same headpiece, but it is using the same hairpiece, although it's now in black rather than dark brown, which I think is more accurate. He comes with a nice new print for a puffer jacket, which is printed on the front and on the back, although we don't get any arm printing, not that I would expect it. He also has the medium legs in black, which is perfect for characters this age, although funnily enough, Dean does turn out to be a lot taller than the other people in his year, but I don't think that detail needs to be reflected in LEGO. Here are both their alternate expressions. As I said, Harry's is one that we've come to expect now, and Dean has a wider grin on the other side of his head. I thought I'd pair these 2 up, as they are Mr. and Mrs. Flume, the owners of Honeydukes. They're very interesting figures. The Mrs. Flume figure actually reuses a Harry Potter faceprint for the 2nd time. That faceprint was originally made for Helga Hufflepuff in the large Hogwarts Castle set. It's then been used for Molly Weasley in 2 subsequent sets and is now being used for Mrs. Flume. It's a little bit cheap of LEGO to do this, although the faceprint does work well in this scene, and since Molly never canonically visits Hogsmeade in the time the books are set, we can probably forgive that. Does, however, have a new torso print, which you can see has the design of sweets or candy on it there, and the same around the front. It's a sort of waistcoat type thing, and she's got an apron printed on her legs. Nice colours used overall, very vibrant. On the right, we've got Mr. Flume. I believe his jacket is new. It's a slightly simpler design, but it does look very nice and is very reusable. He also comes with a beanie, which I'm not sure I've seen in that colour before. Both of them also have alternate face prints, with Mrs. Flume having a more cheery smile there, and Mr. Flume looking very exhausted, like he's just lugged a box of sweets upstairs. And last but not least, we have got 2 very nice figures here. On the left is Professor Mcgonagall. She is using new prints all over, except for the face, so she's got a wonderful print for the torso on the front and back, and a new print for the front of that skirt piece, all in dark green, which look very good and appropriate for the scene. She's not come with this hairpiece before. The dark tan matches the hair that you can see peeking out of the bottom of her hat in the Hogwarts Moment Transfiguration classroom set. Couldn't get the word out there. Her face print is the same as in that set. And then on the right, we have got a new character. This is Madame Rosmerta, who is the proprietor of the 3 broomsticks. She's using an existing faceprint, which I think has already been used for Bellatrix Lestrange, although I'm not sure it originated with her. Her hairpiece is nice in this colour. I don't know if it's been there before. And she comes with a new jacket print, which matches almost exactly the one that she wears in the film. I'll just pop off their hairpieces so you can see their alternate expressions. Like I said, Professor McGonagall's is the same as comes in the Hogwarts Moment set, with her disapproving face, And yeah, Madame Rosmerta's is possibly not as appropriate for the character in this scene, but her face on the other side is absolutely fine. That's it for the figures of this set. So now we're moving on to the builds. Before we get to the two main buildings, I thought it would be worth looking at the side builds that come with it. I really like the inclusion of these as it helps to fill out a scene. You can sort of structure where the streets would go without needing any more buildings. They're very simply built, but they're nice additions. Here we've got a lamppost. This is just using the large modern lamppost piece on the bottom on a 4x4 round white plate. And then on the top we have the palm tree topper, which is what it originated as, although it's been used as lanterns before, with a single brick inside and a dish and a slope on top, just to make a nice sort of gaslight type thing. Then here we have a notice board. This is a 1x3 window, which has 2 stickers on the glass, both of which are signs for Sirius Black, wanted posters. Very slightly different, a more angry expression on the side there, which is nice. Again, it's a very simple build, just uses a 1x3 jumper on the top to hold these 2 slopes, again suggesting snow. I do like the snow theming across the whole set, and I'll mention that more when we get to the buildings. It's nice to see this poster. This actually matches the one that came in the Hogwarts Express set back in 2018, which is really nice to see that there's some consistency there. And lastly, we have a small bench, which I think does actually appear in the film very briefly. And it's, again, a very simple build, just one of those semicircular pieces on the bottom, small bench, and then a bank of snow here. The only gripe I have is the fact that there's a gap under there. Possibly could have been filled with 2 plates, but when you see it from this side, which is where you're meant to see it, you can't really tell. Okay, on to the buildings, and I think we'll start with Honeydukes. As I mentioned in my intro, we have seen Honeydukes before. That was part of the Shrieking Shack set, and the Honeydukes in that set was quite small. It didn't have a roof or doors, and it was basically using a small amount of pieces as possible to provide a little sort of accessory for the Shrieking Shack set. It was a fairly decent effort, but this is definitely a massive upgrade. As with the 3 broomsticks, it uses white plates around the bottom, again to show snow, and continues the snow theming across the roof. I think this is a fairly sensible decision overall. It's easy enough to swap these over to different plates, or possibly a base plate, and they don't interfere with the inside, which is actually tiled pretty much throughout. As you can see on the front, there are some rather large windows. These are half 4x4 cylinder pieces in trans clear. Unfortunately, they are stickers that you need to apply to them. Some people did think that they were going to be prints, as they were in Diagon Alley, but for a cheaper set, they have gone with stickers. I've seen some people had quite a bit of trouble applying them. They weren't the easiest thing to apply, I have to admit, but I didn't find them too bad. They're clear-backed stickers, so I don't know if you can see there's a little bit of blurriness or frostiness in the glass, as it were, which is probably some air bubbles trapped underneath there, maybe some dust. But I have to say, overall, the effect is pretty good, especially from any distance. And if you do look at it up close, you can just pretend that it's old glass. Obviously, I wish they'd printed them, but I do understand why they didn't. More stickers are across the top here for the 2 signs that say Honeydukes and the one in the middle as well. Again, people have said they had trouble applying particularly these 2 because they're on round 4x4 bricks, of which we can only see the front half. A tip for anybody who's going to buy this set and build it, what I actually did was put these bricks in place. So you've got this brick on one side and this brick on the other blocking it off, and then I put the stickers on. So I lined them up pretty much as close as I could just here, and then wrapped them around on both of them, and I think they've come out pretty well overall. Like I mentioned, the roofs of these buildings have got snow on them, and this is achieved using a variety of wedge plates, and tiles there. It's fairly consistent throughout. Obviously, there are some small gaps where the roof edges meet, although I have to say that the way the geometry has been worked out here is really, really great, and I don't begrudge them the fact that they've had to leave a small gap. The snow is piled around as it probably would be if it was on a roof, as if it's fallen to the bottom and has collected, and in fact some of it has spilled over onto the tops of the windows out here. I quite like it. I like Hogsmeade in the snow. I think it looks perfect, and I think that's probably how the majority of people imagine or remember Hogsmeade, although there are plenty of trips, in the books at least, that take place when it isn't snowing. There's another sticker used up here on the window. I've actually put mine a little bit off-centre, so I think I will be using Robin Hood Brick's patent hot tea technique. Yep, sorry, I don't have the sticker, so I can't do it, but imagine that's happened. I'll be using his technique, which really works to shift that sticker over when I remember to do it. There's some nice building here to create the roof and the shape around it. You can see there's some slopes in here that match up with this small section at the front. In fact, I'll just remove this. Might be able to see better how that works, and this fits in nicely with the wedge plates around it. At the top, we've got a couple of chimneys, which actually lead to fireplaces on the inside. Speaking of which, spinning the building around, we get a better look at the interior. As I mentioned, the floor is tiled, in this case in black and white, and quite a lot of the tiles are actually modified plates with single studs, i.e. jumpers. And this is really good because it allows you to pose figures inside, or indeed to put things like this in. This is a removable cabinet, which I believe actually features in the film, possibly in the first scene where Harry emerges from Honeydukes, having snuck into Hogsmeade. Again, it's got some nice stickers on the outside. It's a shame there's actually nothing on the inside, or they couldn't close up the two sides. So anyway, because of those jumpers, you can move it about, or you can actually pop it outside the shop, as I'm going to do for the moment. The other bit in here that you can technically remove, you can remove anything because it's Lego, but this is fairly easily removable, is this little register. This is another sticker on a curved brick, but it looks nice overall. And then on the side, we have got a small bowl acting as a weighing scale. I've actually never had one of these bowls before, so it was nice to get one in this set. And in fact, we get a second one as a spare. I'll leave that out while we look inside. It's a fairly nice design inside. It manages to look nice and busy without being too cluttered. Just try and get a little bit more light in there. So yeah, there's some nice pieces. Some pieces here. So this is acid pops, which is a type of sweet. There's a popcorn thing there, which could represent anything. You might be able to see there is a large sticker on the inside of that panel piece showing more jars on shelves. In fact, there is another one over here, if I can get it to focus. I don't believe they're identical, and they look actually really nice in the background. We've also got some displays in the window. We've got this here, which I will just remove. I haven't actually come across these pieces in this colour before, sort of opalescent trans pink. And I'm not sure what that's representing. Maybe some sort of large boiled sweet, or candy floss, or cotton candy. And then on the other side, we've got what looks like a chocolate fountain, possibly. Not doing much fountaining at the moment, but I think that's what they're going for there. Similar details on the other side, except they've got a couple of lollies with swirls, and over here we've got maybe a couple of cupcakes or macarons or something like that. The final thing I wanted to mention on the ground floor is something that the original Honeydukes actually did better, in my opinion, and that is the trapdoor. Now, in the books, the way that Harry gets to Hogsmeade is through the secret passage from the statue of the One-Eyed Witch all the way to the cellar of Honeydukes. Now, there isn't a cellar in this build, but the original set got around that by just having a trapdoor in the main floor. Now, while it's technically more accurate not to have it, I think it's a shame that they didn't at least try and include something, even if it was just a suggestion. I understand why they probably decided against it. It's a matter of size, and it may have spoilt the look, but I think it's a shame nonetheless that they didn't try and at least give a small nod to it. There's not as much going on upstairs. You can see through to that window I mentioned before with the badly placed sticker. We've also got a box here with Honeydukes on both sides. Those are more stickers, as are most of the details in this set. There's nothing inside it, which is a little bit of a shame, but you could definitely put something in there. Removing that means you can see there's a small bucket there with a golden handle, a small pan which doesn't contain anything, just on a table there, and then we've got twin fireplaces, one here and one over here, it'll focus, which lead up to the chimneys. In terms of the rest of the inside, there's just a small amount of detailing here. Not sure what this is actually meant to be, but it's nice that they filled in the space rather than just leaving it empty. Okay, that is Honeydukes. I think this is a really nice improvement overall. Obviously, the actual Honeydukes is a little bit larger than this, but I'm pretty happy with the scaling that they've done in order to fit this into a cheaper set. And now on to what's probably my favourite part of the set, that being the Three Broomsticks pub. This is featured quite a lot in the books, although I think they probably only visit a couple of times in the films, once in Prisoner of Azkaban and once in Half-Blood Prince. It's a really nice building. It's got that typical Hogsmeade, very tall, skinny building that looks like it's going to fall over at any second. Obviously, they've had to downsize it a little bit, but you still get a decent amount of height there, and I think the roofs look really nice. Starting from the outside here, we've got a few signs. We've got the 3 broomsticks sign there, which is perhaps a little bit small. I've seen a few people actually make their own signs using 3 real broomstick pieces, which I may try in the future, although that may end up being a little bit too large. We've also got a small lantern here and a welcome sign there. At least I think it's a welcome sign with spiraling words, all very accurate to the film. We've got these golden antlers up here, which again is accurate, although I don't know if they're supposed to be gold, but it looks good. On the outside, we've got more of that snow in a similar way to Honeydukes, and again, that looks really nice, just using the same sort of pieces. The way that these roofs are constructed is actually quite simple, but really nice. They're just on hinges, so they hinge at the bottom like that, and then come together at the top. They've used these inverted slope pieces underneath to give a bit of a shape, almost like decorative wood. I'm trying to think what the name of that part of a window is. It'll probably, of a window? Of a roof. Trying to think what that is. That'll probably come back to me at some point. There's a variety of different windows on the outside. We've got these golden ones with grills at the bottom, or lattices I should say, and then we've got smaller ones here, here and here, and then one larger one there. Just serves to give the entire building a sort of higgledy-piggledy look, which I really appreciate. It's also got 2 chimneys, one up here and one up here, which you can't see because I've not tilted up. There we go. And the roof on top uses the same method as the one below, just hinging from the bottom and meeting in the middle there. Spinning the building around, we get a good look at the ground floor. This is the main pub section. Here we can see the bar with a pint of butterbeer ready to go. And we've also got a sticker with the shrunken heads on the back of the main door. These are the ones that are very rude to Ron in Prisoner of Azkaban when he tries to get in. Something about shrunken heads in Prisoner of Azkaban, and they never really pop up again. There's a few other stickers throughout here. There's one here of a painting. Try not to get my finger in the way. We've got another set of stickers on the large panel pieces. We've got the one there that says butterbeer and has a couple of broomsticks, as well as the wood backing of the seats there. And we've got a different one on the side there, again with that wood paneling. Not sure how well this is showing up. And it also has a small shelf along with another broomstick painting. So hey, that's 3 broomsticks in total. As well as that beer on the bar, we've got a bottle and a candle. Again, the floor in here has been either tiled over here, or is in grey so that the white of the outside doesn't show up. Small bench there with a croissant and another mug of butterbeer, and another set of antlers above the door. Moving upstairs in this building, we've got the only other room that we really see in the 3 broomsticks, which is the room that Professor Mcgonagall and Cornelius Fudge and Madame Rosmerta go to talk about Sirius Black. I have to say, in terms of changes from book to film, this is one that makes a lot more sense than in the books, where the conversation about Sirius Black goes on in the open, and Harry only overhears because he's under an invisibility cloak. In the film, it makes a bit more sense that he has to sneak in. Anyway, this is a nice representation of a sort of lounge, or possibly Madame Rosmerta's own flat. Comes with a nice dark green armchair over this side, a very simple build. Got another sticker back here representing the 3 broomsticks again, and another one over here, which I will just take out so the light can get on it a bit better, which looks to me to be a silhouette of Hogwarts against the night sky. It's a really nice sticker, actually. I may try and get myself a second sticker sheet. We've got a small cabinet here with a couple of pretend drawers. You can see that the windows are actually supported on it from the inside. A small candle, although this may actually be a sort of oil lamp or something like that. Got a small stool, fireplace in the back here. Obviously it doesn't quite match up to where the chimneys are, but I think we can forgive them for their space constraints. And then on the mantelpiece, we have what could possibly be a small sprig of holly or something like that, and a goblet. It's a very nice little interior, and there's plenty of room for posing figures around. Up in the top, we've actually not got anything there, just a couple of tiles connecting the 2 halves together. I think it's always good to look at spare parts, since these can be added straight to your parts collection and used in future builds. As I mentioned, we get a spare bowl, which is really nice to have. I might put that in my Great Hall. Spare wands on sprues, a few extra printed tiles and 1x1s, a couple of cherries, some slope pieces, a flame piece, and one of these bars with a stud. In fact, 2 of them, one in black and one in tan, which isn't very common. So a nice collection of spare pieces overall, but nothing too crazy. And lastly, because this is a 20th anniversary set, we've got to look at the collectible chocolate frog tiles that we get. There are 4 in this set, so I was thinking I had quite a good chance of getting some that I didn't have. Off to a good start with Mr. Bertie Bott just there, which is very appropriate indeed. But then everything went downhill because I got another Newt Scamander, another Severus Snape, and another Serafina Picquery. So 1 out of 4, not good, I'm afraid. Considering how many anniversary sets I've got left to go, I don't think I'm going to be getting a full set just from buying the sets. So I may have to look at some Facebook groups and places that have got people swapping them to see if I can get a full set. But if not, I'll end up using the spares around my castle as suggested by one of my viewers. Okay, that wraps up everything. Let's take a look back at the main set and I'll give you my final thoughts. So there we go, that was the Hogsmeade Village Visit set. What do I think overall? I think this is a really nice set. People have been waiting quite a while for a set that just focuses on Hogsmeade, so they can make their own village, and I think this does it really well. Obviously, it's never going to be quite as good as the mocks that people have created in the time between then, and if you want to check those out, then a quick Google search will find you everything you need. But in terms of a set for regular people who just want to build something and don't want to have to think about it too much, I think it's a very good set. Nice selection of minifigures and a couple of nice buildings. I'm hoping in future they might release an expansion, possibly including the Shrieking Shack and maybe the Hogshead or something like that. But beyond that, I think they probably won't do too much more as the other buildings in Hogsmeade aren't too well known. So we'll just have to leave that up to the mock makers. Okay, if you've enjoyed this video, then please leave a like or a comment down below. Let me know what you think. I'm now an Amazon affiliate, so I've left an affiliate link in the description of this video. By clicking that, you can buy this set from Amazon, and I may earn a small amount of commission. Also, if you click on that link, you can then go and buy anything on Amazon, and I may also earn commission from that. At the moment, I believe this only works for amazon.co.uk, so that's only viewers and purchasers in the UK, but I am looking at getting that changed so it will work around the world. Thank you very much. If you want to see more, then please subscribe to my channel. In the meantime, have a good one. Bye.